Welcome to Doodle Heaven Texas. My name is Kara and I'm going to take you on a little journey through our life with doodles. Back in 2009, we started with a doodle named Diamond after 2 years of research on the doodles. Because my husband is very allergic to animals and to the dander of animals, it is really critical what type of dander and what type of fur these animals have. We had standard poodles in the past and they were wonderful and we loved them, but the doodle scene was kind of cool and we wanted to check it out. So we started researching the dander and what causes them not to shed, and is that the issue? Or is it the dander? After getting Diamond and doing all the research, we decided, why not breed Goldendoodles for other people who have this same struggle with severe allergies?
Make sure you hit that like button.
In the middle of the night in 2009, I was rocking our very first foster baby who had reflux, and the baby monitor began to make sounds and I knew puppies were on the way. Our first litter was there. We had 7, I believe, babies in that litter. Beautiful red and gold babies in that litter. We fell in love with the process of doodles and breeding and raising those babies to be excellent puppies for families, and we continued to grow over the years. It's very important to us, that process of not only the proper health testing for our moms and our dads, but also in the proper socialization of our puppies to be the best puppy they can be for the families who want them. We want families to feel like a part of our doodle family who come and get our puppies, and that years from now we still want to be there to support them, to see their babies, and possibly to have another puppy for them. We have our very own private page for our owners, where we can keep up with litters, celebrate birthdays, and see the fun things they're doing and learning. We have several that are now therapy dogs, emotional support, and it's exciting to watch their journey with their puppies. We're also there to support training tips as well as the other parents. The other doodle owners are excellent at sharing the tips and things that have worked for them or that haven't worked so much for them. It's really important to us that you you can see the little thumbs up, that you like and also subscribe so that you can see these videos when they come up again and we have other tips or we show you puppies. This is our very first video, so this will be a new experience for everyone involved, but we hope you enjoy our journey with our doodle babies.
Now, who doesn't love puppies?
After doing 2 years of research and finding our puppy, we did meet with a Goldendoodle breeder for F1 Goldendoodles, and she had 2 for us to select. Now, the F1, when is referred to with Goldendoodles, means 50-50. So you have 50% standard poodle in this case, because we wanted the standard size, 50% golden retriever. Both were AKC registered. For some people that matters, for others it doesn't. That did matter to us. And in this case, Diamond's father's parents were both champion dogs. So they had earned the accreditation to be a champion. They had competed. The father did not, but his parents did. So they were champion bred. We chose...
I bet you thought we were gonna forget to show you puppies, but they're coming right up, our sweet little newborn, medium-sized Goldendoodles. We'll show you. Stay tuned.
We chose the little puppy with the little diamond patch right in her forehead, where the kids, as we traveled back home about an hour away, they chose her name based on that little, it's called an abstract marking. She had white on her chest and a little white diamond. Since then, in our litters that are from Diamond's line, we've had many puppies that have had that little diamond abstract marking, which takes us just back to the legacy of Diamond and makes us remember her with a smile, because she started it all for us. Now with the F1s, something critical to note. We did know this and we took a little bit of a chance. With an F1 being 50-50, those can still, and most do shed. Not all, but most will shed a little bit. Their dander also can be not quite the same as the standard poodle, which is more like human hair. In our case, Diamond was a little more wiry. She shed very, very slightly. It was just really at season change in the spring. You could, if you stroked her back, a little bit would come out. But for the most part, it wasn't shedding around the house. My husband could note the difference a little bit in her fur, but for the most part, because the shedding was not as intense and the dander was getting towards that direction, it was better for him. We chose her because we wanted to have F1Bs. The B means back cross, and that means we're going to back cross with the poodle again, bringing in a better coat in terms of that hyperallergenic effect. They can't truly be called hypoallergenic. That's just not a thing. And yet, it's a good advertising thing. People call us and ask us about that, about are they hypoallergenic? Can't guarantee anything because you can be allergic to saliva. Yes, truly, saliva. So F1B was the gold standard in terms of Goldendoodles because at that point in time, provided testing comes back correctly with the mom and then the poodle does need to be tested as well, we knew that neither carried the IC or the improper coat. So we produced F1B puppies that would have the correct dander, would not shed.
Come on and subscribe.
Hypoallergenic. I am not comfortable saying a dog is hypoallergenic because you don't know what somebody's allergic to. Is it the dander? Is it the saliva? Some people can be allergic to all dander. In this case, my husband was not. And an F1B is perfect for him. But using the term hypoallergenic, I think, can be a little bit misleading. But the goal is no shedding or very, very, very light shedding and the proper coat like the poodle. So it's more like human hair versus fur, which is very much like the poodle.
If you want to see more puppy videos, just go down and click the bell. Hit it. What are you waiting for?
Doodles, doodles, doodles. We're talking a lot about doodles. To have a whole channel dedicated to doodles. Earlier, we've talked about the different types, and there's so many. When you hear F1 and F1B and F1BB and multi-gen and F3, and what on earth does all that mean? And it can be very, very confusing. We talked about F1s, the 50-50 mix, so that's first generation Goldendoodle. F1Bs are taking that first generation Goldendoodle and breeding them back to the poodle. F1BB would mean taking that and breeding it back to the poodle again. Now with that one, people would say, wait a minute, okay, you just told me that now we have 75% poodle, and you want to breed that again to another poodle? Wouldn't we just have all poodle? But that's not the way genetics play. In our case, with what we're looking for in a doodle, we will take that F1B puppy and test for what's the percentage, because each puppy is going to get a different percentage from their parents. Clearly from the poodle, they're getting all of it, but from the F1 Goldendoodle, they might get more of the Golden Retriever. So we're going to take that F1B puppy and we're going to pick one that has less than 75% of poodle to breed back to the poodle. And what we get is an amazing coat. Very, very silky. We can tell the difference between our F1B and F1BBs. They're just silky, and it's this wavy, loose curl that's so super silky, just a little bit silkier than their parent, being the F1B, and certainly more than F1 that tends to be more wiry in most cases, but not all. So it's an amazing coat. Multi-gens can be, a lot of people define those differently. That can be any where it's a mix, maybe an F1B to an F1, an F1BB to another F1BB. But the problem is you can't just take two beautiful doodles and breed them and say, voila, it's going to work. It doesn't work that way. The testing for whether they have improper coat, what they're carrying in terms of dander is extremely critical. So it's more than just breeding a doodle to a doodle. Many people make that mistake. They don't do their homework and they can end up disastrous. We could end up inbreeding with a relative. We can end up, again, having what's called improper coat doodles, which look like their Golden Retriever parent, which is fine. Golden retrievers are beautiful, but in most cases, people are selecting a doodle for the reason of the dander and the no to low shed feature. So just breeding two beautiful doodles together is not where it's at. We do a lot of testing with our puppies in the very beginning before we even select, so that it's critical that we're getting what is most desired for people. Can there be anomalies? Yes, there can. There definitely can be. We did have a litter with both parents neither having improper coat. And we had one puppy from the very beginning. We knew that the puppy did not have that teddy bear look. It had more of the golden retriever look, which means no fur on the snout and also on the legs. And we knew from the beginning there was a good chance this either was a weak furnished doodle or it was an improper coat doodle. We did tell the future owners that were selecting that there's a real good chance that this dog would shed. It may be temporary, it may not be, and they needed to proceed knowing that. We're still following that puppy, and we do believe it's weak furnishings because now we have some coming in. There is some shedding, but it's starting to diminish. So we're hopeful after that puppy is over a year, maybe it won't shed anymore. But again, no guarantees that there. We did call the geneticists, the group that we worked with, to have them pull our tests and double check them. And then we showed them the puppy and they agreed that that was definitely an anomaly. It doesn't happen often, but it can because they've just pulled genes from further in the genetic line and that just came through in that particular puppy. And there was just one in that litter, but we knew early on and were able to let our families know. So I hope that gives you a little information about the F1 and F1B. We'll talk about other generations with the multi-gen later on, and also size with going between a mini and a standard. How does that work, and how can we be assured that they're going to be that size? And that can be complicated. But again, with the right research, you at least have the best case scenarios and you know what your goal is and how you're going to get there.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.